Target audience research is a necessity when producing any media product which is targeted to a specific category of consumer. This is to enable the finalised product to be enjoyable for those you are targeting. After researching a target audience, it is then necessary to seek their opinions on planned and produced material throughout the production tasks. The final product should then be suitably appropriate and enjoyed by those you sought opinions from. This is particularly useful for mainstream producers as their aims orient around successful target audience research contributing high income for a film. My primary target audience are males aged between 16 to 24. Their age group is associated with the Band D and Band E socioeconomic groups as a result of their likelihood to be involved in at least part-time education. Furthermore, due to their younger age, I have associated my primary audience to be of the aspirers, explorers and strugglers psychographic groupings. This is due to them being in education and thus having a low income. Although my decision was made upon actor availability, being male, my audience members may also feel that they can relate to the leading protagonist more as they are of a corresponding gender. My secondary target audience are females from the same categories and are therefore almost identical to my primary target audience. I wanted to produce an entertaining but educational short film regarding the dangers of social media trends that are developing in our modern day society. Although metaphorical, my aim with the leading antagonist is to represent his actions as being comparable to numerous social media trends which have circulated recently. I have, in this way, applied Blumler and Katz's hyperdemic needle theory, as the audience are passive to the lessons I am aiming to teach them. Correspondingly, with regard to Katz's uses and gratifications theory, my production should work as a mechanism for providing my audience with diversion. Initially, I conducted a target audience questionnaire, enabling me to collect baseline views from my primary and secondary target audience members. This ensured my produced tasks were best reflective of these sought preferences. The initial audience feedback received enabled my ideas to be adjusted. Although only initial research, it was important to understand if my target audiences would enjoy watching my current ideas as a production. At first, for example, I planned for 5 seconds to be my short film title, inspired by my original idea involving the masked antagonist giving Michael a mere 5 seconds to make his fatal decision. However, many of my targeted audience members had an expectation that the film would be action-packed and include chase scenes as a result of this connotation that accompanies this concept of 5 seconds. This was not the aim of my short film, and thus I changed my idea accordingly. In fact, the audience research was highly useful as it enabled me to change the title to be far more reflective of the themes of punishment in my plot. Additionally, research into font preferences of my target audience assisted with the production of the poster. The preferred font, also deemed the most reflective of the psychological thriller genre, was 1942 Report, which I subsequently used for my main title and tagline on my film poster. This audience research led to my film poster being more reflective of my hybridized genres. Referencing and collecting the opinions of my target audience was carried out throughout copious elements of my practical production. I produced 3 sketches for potential film posters and asked 20 members of my target audience for their opinions of the artwork which they thought would be best reflective of both my plot and short film genres. Fortunately, the consensus was in favour of the film poster I equally believe to be the most reflective of my sinister storyline. This audience research was effective as it affirmed my personal beliefs regarding my own work. I conducted further target audience research after having produced an animatic. I felt it would be crucial to receive opinions at this stage. Despite the animatic consisting of sketches of each shot, I felt the opinions would be crucial to receive as the animatic had become the most representative example of my finalised production during that stage of the course. The belief was that, although my storyline is effective and denoting of what I'd planned, my target audiences believed the adaptation and further exploration of music would be effective for my production task as a result. This, in turn, initiated my research into the personal production of music as a research task. Overall, I think the music produced was highly signifying of my hybridized genres and enabled suspense to be built before climaxes in the storyline occurred. Audience research for my first edit was perhaps one of the most crucial parts of feedback to complete. Although I had referenced audience research throughout the research and planning stages of my production, it is particularly useful to receive direct feedback based upon real products you are able to show your target audiences and ask for comments upon. This is to enable the product to become more appealing to my targeted audiences. I did this through the use of peer assessment and a focus group. My focus group in particular allowed me to ask questions regarding elements of concern I had with the first edit. From here, I could then ask members of my primary and secondary target audiences for their views and opinions. opinions, enabling me to adjust my final product accordingly. This resulted in adaptations regarding the car crash scene, which built for more suspense throughout the overall narrative. Overall, the conducting of audience research heavily altered the outcome of my production. As a whole, the views of my audience enabled the finalised work to be successfully targeted to those within their appropriate demographic and age category.